Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day everyone. My name is Izzat Zafri bin Muhammad Zamri and I'll be the chairperson for today's online forum. To all audience and panelists, welcome to the first ever online forum brought to you by Strix, students of Kuliah of Languages and Management, batch 2018-2019, International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM, discussing on aspects of connected speech. But before that, we have some fantastic panelists today that will be joining our discussion for today. Let me go through a quick roll call. Our first panelist will be Sister Siti Zahirah Binti Hizam. She is
Hello.
a second year, second semester NCOM student. Hello. A
Yeah.
very bright student from Strix who dreams to pursue masters in phonetics. Our future phonetician, inshallah. Glad to have you, Zahira. Hi.
Hi.
Okay,
My
next we
name is
will have Brother Arsyad. Sorry?
Ayura. Continue.
All right. Okay, next we will have Brother Arsyad Bin Abu Bakar, also second year, second semester NCOM student. Hi, brother. We are very pleased to
Hello.
have him today. Hello.
Yeah, sure.
I was informed that he is currently in Klang, am I right?
Yes, currently
I
in
hope
the
you're doing.
in the red zone of
Uh,
Selangor.
I see. I hope you're doing just fine over there.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. And lastly, the highlight, we will have Brother Muhammad Irfan bin Aznan. How are you today?
Hello, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, great. So, without further ado, we will get going right now. I know most of you must have wondered, since we are all here studying English as a second language, why our pronunciation is often sound at least slightly different uh, from the natives, aren't we? Regardless of how hard we try, there will be some part here and there that cannot match the natives' way of speaking. Well, this is actually because since they are more fluent than us, they do not articulate the word one by one like most of us did, but rather they will speak continuously at a certain speed and rhythm where the words bump into each other, which causes changes in pronunciation of the words. These changes are features of what we call as connected speech. For example, in a simple word like cupboard, there is a sound change in which some phonemes more similar to it is historically a compound of cup and board, and is always pronounced as cupboard and never cupboard, even in slow, highly articulated speech. This change is known as assimilation, and this is only one of it. Besides that, we have another four main features of connected speech, which are elision, delayed closure, canitation, and lastly, intrusion. So to explain further, let us invite our first speaker, Brother Arsyad bin Abu Bakar. So, Brother Arsyad, other than assimilation, can you explain to us another feature of connected speech? Please welcome.
Yes, sure. Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all our viewers today. First and foremost, thank you for inviting me here today. So, since our chairperson has already give us a brief explanation on assimilation, I think now we should have some idea of what connected speech is all about. It is one of the basic studies in phonetics, yet still an important one to study the speech of the natives. So, apart from assimilation, there is also another feature called as catenation. There are many different ways that connected speech happens. Sometimes sounds are added or omitted or even changed in different ways. It is actually a big subject and we could spend a long time talking about the several subtopics in it. So, well, today I'm going to talk about catenation, which is one of the ways speech connects. Catenation, or in other words, linking, is probably what most people think of first when they think of connected speech. Linking happens when the end of one word blends into another. When the last sound of a word is a consonant and the first sound of the next word is a vowel, you get linking. In other words, it is the ways speakers join words together. It is one of the ways we, English speakers, connect words in a sentence. Okay, here are some here are some examples that we can see in our everyday English. So first up, I want this orange. I want this orange. So the catenation here happens between this and orange. So the word this ends with a consonant, which is the S, and the word orange starts with a vowel, orange, O. So when a vowel and a consonant ends up meet together in a sentence, we get catenation. So people don't usually say I want this orange, unless it depends on the context of the speaker itself. But usually people, English speaker, would say I want this orange. So this and orange, it sounds like it is a one word, right? So basically it is two words, but catenation happens between the both of the consonant and the vowel. Okay, next, moving on. Again, similar to the first example, I want that orange. I want that orange. So the catenation here happens between that and orange, which produce a rather sound like D sound between the both of the words, that and orange. So when when normal English speakers would say, "I want that orange." So we can hear the D sound before the start of the word orange. And then next example, this afternoon. This afternoon. Again, this is quite similar with the first example. I want this orange and this afternoon. So the vowel here, which is the afternoon, start with a A. And then lastly, the last example, which is cats or dogs. Cats or dogs. The sentence here is cats or dogs, but the catenation happens here between the cats and or. The cats ends with a consonant S and or starts with the vowel O. So when we say in a normal way of speaking, cats or dogs, we don't say cats or dogs. We say cats or dogs. Okay, that is all from me, because catenation or linking is actually quite simple. We can, it is very straightforward. It doesn't require much attention to it, because when you are already familiar with English speaking, you will not have problem in linking or catenation. Okay, that is all from me.
Okay, thank you very much for the explanation, Brother Arsyad. Now we're done with two features, so let us see which one will be Sister Zahirah's choice. So now I welcome Sister
All right.
Zahirah.
Good.
It's yours, Sister.
Right. Good evening. My name is Zahirah, and I will explain on elision. So, what is an elision? Elision is omitting one or more sounds from a word or phrase. Why do we need elision? Elision is used to make articulation easier and make speech faster and more natural. Most common is the th and the sound. Let's look at the example. The example that I have is that and island. For example, that, we pronounce it as that. We omit the B sound. We don't say that, we say that. And then island, we omit the S and we pronounce it as island. Moving on, there can be vowel elision and consonant elision. For vowel elision, it occurs when the short unstressed vowel occurs between voiceless consonants. For example, potato, we pronounce it as potato. We don't say potato. And then we have another easier example is bicycle. We don't pronounce bicycle, we pronounce it as bicycle. Okay. And next we have the consonant elision. Consonant elision is basically the deletion of weak vowel schwa after h, t, and k. For example, tomato, we pronounce it as tomato. And another example is canary. Canary, we pronounce it as canary. Moving on, this is quite something that I've been struggling with because it's quite hard, right? Is the avoidance of complex consonant cluster. We have the phrase George of the Sixth Throne, and it is hard to pronounce the cluster of k, s, th, s, Let me show you. George of the Sixth Throne. It's hard to pronounce it all in the correct manner. So what people do is they pronounce it as George the Sixth Throne. It's easy that way, and we can see the elision there. And lastly, we have the contraction. So basically, contraction is what we use normally, and some people won't even realize it is an elision. For example, it occurs when two words are combined. The example of words can, we use it daily. We use it as cat. I am, we use it I'm, and will not, won't. That's all for elision. As we use it daily in our life, some of these examples we may not realize that it is an elision. That's all from me.
Thank you. Some sounds are missing in one's speech, so that's kind of makes sense now. Okay, very clear explanation, Sister Zahirah. So that left is with Brother Irfan as our last speaker for today. So Brother Irfan, another two to choose from. Please welcome.
So hello everyone. So among all 5 features, there is actually one that I beginning of this forum. I am so relieved that nobody picked that feature, because it is actually one of my favorites. Actually, the one that I meant is actually intrusion. Intrusion is what you might expect from the name, an extra sound into the spoken utterance. Intrusion happens when an additional sound intrudes or inserts itself between the others. It is often a Y, W, or R between two vowel sounds. Therefore, let's take a look to the example of intrusion. The first one is intrusive R, and the example is, for example, the sentence is the media are to blame. And then when the intrusion happens, the intrusion letter R is intruding in the sentence, and it became the media are to blame. When we pronounce it quickly, it became the media are to blame. And then the second example of intrusive R is law and order. Again, the letter R is intruding between the words law, and it became law and order. And the third example is I saw a film. And when we pronounce it quickly, when we speak fast, it became I saw a film. And another instance of intrusive is intrusive Y. When we say I always, we tend to have the intrusive Y in our words. For example, I always. When we speak quickly, we don't say I always. I always. Okay. And then he, us tend to become he has. And then they are here. It tends to become they are here. The Y, the word, the letter Y is intrudes between the they and are. And then we have intrusive W. This is a familiar instance because I would say that everyone's one mentioned this example. For example is do it. We always say that you can do it. We don't say you can do it. No, we don't say one by one. We say you can do it, and you can do it. And another example is go out. Instead of saying go out, we tend to say go out. And then some might ask, how do we remember all these intrusive words? And in my opinion, this intrusive is like a natural addition to people who are in English major. But as time goes by, I am sure everyone will get used to it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Brother Irfan, for the amazing input. So we have listened to many features that make sounds disappear, but this one is a bit unique than others since it adds instead of removing. So nice input, Brother Irfan. So all speakers have been given a chance to explain one feature each. Last question to all panelists before we wrap up the forum. As part of the ESL learners community, what are some advices that you can give to all viewers who might struggle learning English as a second language? 1 minute for each panelist. Please welcome.
Okay, let me start first, okay? So, one
Alright, sure.
advice or maybe one tip from me, from a non-native English speaker but speaks English, I don't know, quite well, is that to practice the language each and every day. When you have the time, just practice, 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 and practice. Just speak out the words, the sentence. I don't know, just go look at lyrics from songs and then just speak out, and then what do we say? Over time, you will have the fluency of the language itself. So yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you, Brother
very
Arsyad. How about Sister Zahirah?
For me, I would say just do your thing. You can either read a book and watch movies. And one thing that I want to say is it's okay to make mistakes. That's how you learn. We all, like me and my friends of English students, we all make mistakes. And it's okay if you, some students might want to sound like native English speaker, like they want to have British accent or whatsoever. It's okay to have your own accent as long as the message is given and they understand. It means that you're doing well, you're doing good. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
Brother
To add
Irfan, how
from
about you?
Okay, to add from Sister Zahirah and Brother Arsyad, I think that we have the process because it's okay because we are learning and we don't compare ourselves to others. Some might can speak well and because we are learning, so it's okay. Like Sister Zahirah said, it's okay to make mistake and as time goes by, we will get used to it.
Okay, so excellent, everyone. Thank you, and thank you very much for the kind advices. Well, I guess that's the end of our forum today. We are really running out of time right now, so I apologize on behalf of the management team if there are any lacking throughout the forum. We had a fantastic event. We are all very glad to have you with us today, and we look forward to seeing you all soon, certainly in person. And thank you again. That's all.